We're going to have a look at the Roland 909 rhythm composer or drum machine. I'm going to give you a quick run through on how to use it, just in case you've just picked one up. When you turn these things on, you're going to be in track play mode, which is almost useless because if you don't have any patterns ready, track play mode is not going to be much use to you. So you want to hit the shift button, and we'll go to pattern play 1. So your shift button's located on the bottom right. There's 6 little buttons here. The bottom right one having the word shift highlighted orange. So hold that down and hit pattern play 1. Now when that little light's flashing there, the pattern play light number 1, when that's flashing, you're in edit mode. So what you want to do now is, before you hit start, hit a number, any one of these 16 buttons across the bottom here. These are all spots for patterns, and they're all approximately 1 bar each, and depending on what time signature you want, you get to set that once you're in play mode. So hold clear, just in case there's something else in there that you don't want. Hold the clear button down, hit number 1, and now that means number 1 here is clear. It's 1 bar blank, so ready for us to record something on. So hit the start button, and you'll see a little light running across the steps there, the 16 steps that add up to the 1 bar. What we'll do, we'll quickly just put down the kick, hold the instrument select button, hold it down. You'll see bass drum, snare drum, low tom, mid tom, high tom, rim shot, hand clap, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, crash cymbal, ride cymbal. So let's just start with the kick real quick. Instrument select, hit down number 1 and then let go of the instrument select. Now this is, you turn your steps on and off, as in little lights. You'll see them half flashing. The half flashing means that they're at half velocity. So if you want a full volume kick, you put 1, hit any step, 1, 5, 9 and 13 for a flat out 4/4 beat, and double press each one of them so their lights are solid. That means they're at full velocity. Next thing we'll do is instrument select, and we'll get a clap, which I think is number 12. Put the 5 and the 13 down, so it's just a real simple beat. Alright, so there's that. Instrument select, and number 13, which is your closed hi-hat. Again, the light's flashing, it means it's half velocity. If it's full velocity, it'll be full lit. No flashing, just fully lit. Alright, so that's okay. If you want to get to your open hi-hat, it's real simple. Hold down instrument select and hold down 13 and 14 at the same time, so they're both lit up, and then let go of instrument select. Now you're on the open hi-hat. Real simple. Now if you want to make this thing swing like some old garage or something like that, hold down the shuffle flam button. 1 to 6 is the amount of shuffle. If you can back it off a bit by going back to 4 or 5. And then the flam is from 9 to 16. We'll get into flam a little later, but basically flam is your double hit. So hit stop. We'll just go back and have a look at what we've just done. We've got number 1 being our pattern now. Number 2, we clear that. Number 2 is now empty. Go back to number 1. We can change the time signatures by hitting the scale. Makes it go a bit spastic, so if you don't know what you're doing, just leave it on the bottom selection. You can't go wrong there. Now if we want to, if you're really happy with what you've just done and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'd like a few of those, you hit number 2, hold down your shift button, then you can copy it by hitting the number 11, which has got copy there, and then what you do is you select the original of what you want to copy, which is number 1, and then you hit enter. So let's just test what number 2 is now. Okay, so we've just made a copy of number 1 and we've pasted it at number 2. So let's do the same thing again. Now let's try that with 3 and 4. So we want to copy 2 to 3 and then we'll copy it to 4. So destination first, hold the shift button, copy, which is 11, select your destination and then enter it, and that'll bounce across. Let's try it again on number 4. Destination first, shift, copy, number 3, enter, and there you go. Now holding 1 and 4 will bond these together. So let's just make 2 a little bit different. Select number 2, play, put a bit of a low tom on this one. Alright, let's go to 3 and put a bit of a snare in there. Instrument select, snare. Alright, let's go to number 4, and in number 4 we'll put some low toms, but we'll make sure they're flamming. So number 4, play, instrument select. Now to get the flam, you hold down both of them, which is true for pretty much everything except that open hi-hat and the closed hi-hat. So as long as low tom, while you're holding down the instrument select, low tom 5 and 6, or in this example 5 and 6, otherwise you can go mid toms, high toms, snares, bass drums, all the instruments up to this point, from down to here, can flam. So what you want to do is put in some patterns. Hold down your flam button and you get to control the amount of flam from 9 to 16. Not much flam there, and 16 a great amount of flam. Alright, so that's that. Now let's go, we've pretty much done everything we can do now if we're happy with our patterns. So what we want to do now is be able to just jam away with them. So hit pattern play, so it's solid. Now when you play, you can jump from each pattern that you've just made. And if you want that to do that on autopilot, then what you can do is once you've got your patterns, you can take them over to track play, which we'll do so here. And then track play is pretty fairly simple as well. The patterns that you've made can now be locked in per step. So say for example, if we wanted pattern 1 to play for 2 bars, hit play, you're on step 1 or pattern 1, position 1, sequence 1, which is number 1, hit enter, and then it'll go to number 2. Hit enter again, and then we want number 3 to be, say, pattern 2 that we created, and we'll go for 4 bars. And then say this one, we'll want number 3 to go for 2 bars, and then say number 1 for another 2 bars, and then number 4 for 2 bars. Alright, let's try listening to that. So hit track play so the light is solid, and now it'll play back to you those steps that you've just recorded. That's probably proof enough that it's doing what we wanted it to do. So hit the stop button. What you can do now is, if you want to see what tempo you're at, you can just hold in the tempo button. This will work in any of the modes, whether you're in track play, pattern play, edit pattern, edit track, I mean. And then what you want to do is you might have this, you might have some other MIDI equipment that you want this to sync to. So what you can do is hold down the shift button, hit your tempo mode. If your zero's in the middle, that'll be syncing off whatever MIDI in's coming in, provided you've got a cable plugged into the MIDI input with a device sending out a clock to the 909. So that's pretty much it. Your rim shot is also a trigger out on the back. There's an output for it, so you can trigger things like a Roland SH101 or whatever's got a trigger input. And there's a lot of devices out there that have this sort of thing. So hopefully this helps you get up and running with your 909. And if I rushed anything too quickly, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is all in the name of getting you up and getting jamming pretty quick. So hopefully I did it all for you and shed some light on how to use these things. All right, enjoy.